So we're here today to demonstrate the techniques required to change the Durametallic SL5200 cartridge mechanical seal. This is a seal that's used on all of our new generation Supermill 2 media mills. Prior to removing this or any mechanical seal on a premier media mill, you should first make sure of the following. Power to the mill should be shut down and locked out. All product and media should have been drained from the mill. The grinding chamber should be fully opened and extended on its carriage rails. All the grinding components should have been removed from the shaft, and most importantly, the shaft, the inlet housing, the seal area have been completely cleaned of product and other debris. Okay, this is one of the 4 shipping clips supplied with the seal installation kit. The next thing to do is to install the 4 shipping clips that are included with the kit on the inboard side of the mechanical seal. Once the clips are installed, loosen the 4 set screws holding the mechanical seal to the shaft. These will be the larger set screws on the inboard or bearing housing side of the seal. Do not loosen the smaller set screws, as these set screws hold the cartridge assembly together. Coming back around to the product side of the mechanical seal, we next remove the seal protector plate from the face of the seal cartridge by removing the 3 flathead screws that secure it in place. This exposes the 6 socket cap screws that hold the mechanical seal cartridge into the inlet housing. The next step will be to remove those 6 socket cap screws. Once the 6 socket cap screws have been removed from the seal cartridge flange, from the seal installation kit, install the 3 threaded rods into alternate holes in the seal cartridge flange. Using a screwdriver in the slot on the end of the threaded rods, alternately tighten down each rod in order to jack the cartridge evenly out of the housing. Because of a buildup of product on the mechanical seal, at times it may become necessary to install a double nut setup on the end of the threaded rod. This will allow the use of wrenches on the threaded rod and allow for more torque in removing the mechanical seal cartridge. Okay, we're ready to install the new mechanical seal. Before installing a new mechanical seal into this or any premier media mill, we recommend that you do the following. Be sure that the seal housing has been thoroughly cleaned and dried. Make sure that there's no foreign matter anywhere in the seal housing that might affect the operation of the new mechanical seal. At this point, it's also a good time to drain and flush the mechanical seal buffer fluid reservoir. Foreign matter from the failing mechanical seal may have settled in the reservoir. There's no sense installing a new mechanical seal and flushing it with contaminated coolant. So flushing the reservoir regularly also helps to help the mechanical seal do its job more efficiently. Okay, the first thing to do is remove the replacement mechanical seal cartridge from its packaging. Inspect the mechanical seal assembly for damage. If damage is evident, report it to Premier Mill Corporation immediately. Do not attempt to install a mechanical seal that does not look right. It will only cause more damage and possibly injury. Before installing the mechanical seal, familiarize yourself with a few items. The external O-ring should be in place. The shipping clips should be in place and loosened, but not removed prior to installation. All the set screws should be in place. Make sure the 4 larger set screws are retracted far enough so as not to damage the milling shaft during installation. Lubricate the external seal cartridge O-rings using a small amount of a lubricant that is compatible with the product that you're going to be milling. This will help the mechanical seal slide easily into its housing and keep the O-rings from binding. Insert the 3 threaded rods from the seal cartridge installation kit into alternating holes on the inlet housing. Slide the mechanical seal into the inlet housing, making sure to align the small pin, which is located at the 6 o'clock position in the seal housing, with the hole in the 6 o'clock position in the seal cartridge. This will ensure proper alignment of the coolant inlet and outlet ports. Take the 3 brass spacers from the seal installation kit and slide them over the 3 threaded rods. Add the flat washers and the hex nuts. Now you can alternately tighten down on the nuts, applying equal pressure to each to drive the seal cartridge into the housing. Once the seal is close to being completely seated, the 3 studs can be removed and all 6 of the socket cap screws can be reinstalled. Again, use even pressure when tightening these screws. Make sure that the cartridge does not become cocked in the housing. Once the seal has been fully seated, you can tighten the 4 large set screws that hold the mechanical seal to the milling shaft on the inboard side. Once this has been done, the shipping clips can now be removed. Make sure to save the shipping clips with the seal installation tools for the next seal change. At this point, it's a good idea to rotate the milling shaft by hand in order to make sure the seal is not bound up. There should be a small amount of resistance when the shaft is turned, but it should still turn smoothly. Once you've tested to make sure that the shaft turns smoothly, it's time to test the integrity of the mechanical seal by doing the following. Fill the seal coolant reservoir with the appropriate buffer fluid. Reestablish air or gas pressure to the reservoir. Make sure the cooling water to the mill is turned on. Reestablish electrical power to the mill and jog the main motor several times to promote flow of buffer fluid through the coolant system. Check for leaks in the coolant lines. If no leaks are evident, run the mill for a minimum of 15 to 20 minutes. During the run, check for leaks around the seal cartridge, the coolant lines, and the coolant reservoir. Also, make note of the temperature of the buffer fluid. During a normal seal test, with the cooling water on, the buffer fluid should not exceed 140 degrees F. Once this testing is complete, the shaft components can be reinstalled on the mill, the chamber can be rolled back into place and buttoned up, and a charge of media inserted into the mill. You're now ready to run product on your premier Supermill 2.